Howdy gamers, Jester here, and I'm here to present my issue with Classic WoW. Now, a lot of people right now are complaining about the Hong Kong guy who is saying things supporting the China man revolution of our age. Now, the typical Blizzard fan, being such a staunch communist and a strong supporter of the traditional Chinese government, were appalled by the actions taking place, but not only the strong words against our perfect neighbors in China, but ashamed in the actions of the casters and not immediately clubbing and breaking the arm of the man who was dumb enough to say the things against our boys in the East. However, I'm going on a tangent, and all these things I just mentioned aren't even my issue with Classic WoW. My issue is what class I'm going to play. I have a habit of overthinking things, as every single person that knows me would tell you first about me. However, you probably don't know me in this. So, just to bring you back to the beginning of my specific issue with deciding what class to play, it goes all the way back to 2011, or so, with random private servers I played on and or ran with buddies so we could stack chairs and tables to climb on even before 2011. A bit of Phoenix and Wrath of the Lich King servers that had microtransactions that would make EIA's cock tremble with pleasure, where I could never decide what class to play. And once they came out or I decided what to play, I was constantly plagued with what I would rather be playing instead. However, it really began in 2016, when Nostalrius was shut down. And in these images, somewhere you might see a level 20 gnome mage saying racial slurs to ruin people's gay-ass emotional screenshots. And then announcing that Elysium, which was a different team under Valkyrie WoW, yikes. Some garbage ones I played before, but popular, especially in the early days. And they were going to re-release the vanilla client under the beautiful Nostalria's source code, and scripting all that good shit. With even more Chinamen than before, and in those 3 months or so the server would be released in late 2016, I was in constant hell on what I would play when they got re-released, and especially on the fresh server that would be launched soon after the original revival of the server. However, it only took me a week after launch, playing millions classes, leveling every single one on the Alliance and Horde to 20 or so over and over again, until I eventually fucked off, because I was busy being depressed and having no friends in my senior year of high school at the time, not being busy with anything at all, really just being a normal senior in high school. I continued playing on private servers, but mostly just uber shitter servers such as RetroWow, where I catfished 2 different Russians for 2 different Thunder Furies, which cost $110 USD each, and later, Henhouse, where you got an instant 60, good PvP, and immediately get called a noodle if people thought you for a brief second could be a Chinaman, only to eventually level a human warrior to 60 right as next patch dropped on Northdale, to then promptly stop playing him because I hated the fact that I was playing a human warrior at the time and much rather be playing a different class. Now let's go a little bit forward or backwards to this fucked chronology of the story to BlizzCon 2017, where every single private server player for years before that said that it'd be nearly impossible for Blizzard to actually release Classic WoW. I agreed with them. Then they announced that our favorite flavor was cummies, promptly making all of the sweaty bucket-shitting neckbeards such as myself rise up and rejoice, for out of the infinite amounts of universes and how unlikely it might have been, we were in the one where Blizzard made Classic WoW, now setting aside that it may have actually been a bad thing and they're just creating Classic WoW to mostly kill off private servers, then fuck it up completely because they hate Classic WoW just for easing Hazakosis to laugh at our pain, acting on some of his hatred for the mortal plane. When I was first told the news, I genuinely thought the 5 or so people were telling me were just fucking with me. Now, I get banned off of everything I use. Constantly making new social media accounts gets tiresome, and most things I know, I either Google or hear it on YouTube or Twitch or get told in person. And I thought the people who were telling me were just fucking with me. So, it wasn't until like 3 entire fucking days after they announced it, I eventually realized that they did announce Classic WoW. So, promptly got to work, trying to decide on what class I was going to play in Classic WoW, because I swear we were retarded, and I thought Classic would come out a week after they announced it. Then a week after that, looping, eventually until launch. I would do things, like ask my buddy, who played WoW nearly since vanilla, and just asked why he always played Shaman, how he decided to play Shaman, and he told me, I don't know, I just like Shaman. Which at the time I just took that answer, and answers like that, to just play what you enjoy as bullshit half-assed answers. However, they were what I would find later is far closer to what was correct to what I needed than what I was telling myself, as I obviously just overthink what I should be playing. That time, I was busy trying to pick a class. It would be somewhat flowing with the cycle, where for about 1 hour, and I'm not even joking for it being that short, to about 3 days, all the way up to the glorious 2 weeks length of time. I would get really excited about playing a class, do an insane amount of research for guides, videos, and watching players of that class and or testing / playing on private servers for that class to be completely prepared for Classic WoW, and sometimes even triggered by seeing people playing a different class than my own out in Azeroth. I would change my mind and want to play something different. This lasted for nearly 2 entire goddamn years, or I was suffering under whatever fucked curse I was under, and would have probably be the most intense psychological torture that existed in the history of mankind. So, now let's go to about a month before Classic came out. I usually am not in guild for too long because I'm a bit of a fucker. I was going to play with Goon Squad, not Nostalrius Goon Squad, but the good one from Northdale. Some of you guys might know, and at the launch renamed ourselves back to Vicarious, a really solid group of shitters from private servers. A lot of good guys in the guild, and a lot of them were fuckers and messed with people constantly. I don't like that. And I was accepted in the guild because I knew a couple of people and had a large resume to apply because I was playing retail WoW since I was a child in vanilla and actively in private servers for a long time. Along with having an autistic amount of dedicated knowledge to class mechanics, leveling strategies, boss strats, and PvP knowledge, especially with matchups, because of my obsession with constantly switching classes and trying to learn them well. And for the most part at the time being, my class changing habits were gone. Now at the point people were relying on me to play what I told them I was going to play for the sake of not fucking with the roster, and my mind and cock could finally relax. Even though I did switch from Priest to Rogue last minute before Classic launch. Now coming up to launch day, with a solid group of guys we were incredibly prepared, and then the minute Classic WoW launched everything went wrong. The guild master since the launch of the guild in 2013 or so on private servers was Pop. He was a shaman. I had rumors that he used to farm people out in the world for hours and hours on end. I don't know, for probably fucking reasons. However, he was temporarily stepping down as GM. And there was a new guildmaster, and this guy not got along great. And even if he ever sees this, I would fucking love to catch up with him. I miss him a fair bit. I miss a lot of the guys a lot. However, about 2 days before launch, the new GM started acting strange, and then fell off the face of the fucking earth on launch day with no one knowing why at first. And then two of the officers, including Pop, which was very fucking important, left to play by themselves. And it was only one officer, and myself, and I was in the process at the time of becoming an officer, because I like being in leadership positions. I'd say I'm a bit knowledgeable about the game, and me and the new GM and officers got along. Aside from the Fortnite Twitch streamer who was in there who was viewbotting, that was weird, and he was a bit of a gamer or some shit, I guess. And then the last officer told me, yeah, the guild's fucked. Then a random raider made a new Discord and guild in game, saying that it was Vicarious, the new guild we were in, and totally not some random piece of shit absorbing casuals and unknowing raiders. The entire fucking officer didn't know what he was doing, which some of the people he absorbed from the collapse were some solid players, just not terribly active with officers or in chats. So this random raider in the guild also fucked off a good chunk of the raiders and casuals in the guild. Did what I could in the fake guild not to bring people back, but let them know that what they were in was not us, and right under their nose were being lied to. From what I'm aware of, that killed the guild. And now on Herod, which was our server, there are 3 entire guilds trying to say that they're us, including Goon Squad, Premium Goon Squad, Vicarious, and which none of them are the original guys. Closest thing we have now is Pop and some of the guys being in Nice, which is the closest thing we have to the old Goon Squad, but still not quite the same. This all happened at the time of me getting my rogue to only level 18. So, you know what that means. I don't need to play rogue anymore. Yay. Celebration time. So I decided, hey, really enjoy playing on RP servers on retail. Missed that from private servers, but never considered that I only played on RP servers post cross server raiding in PvP. Picked Grobulus, then deciding on an AoE grinding mage sounds fun. Leveled 1 to level 23, decided that never mind, this is fucking awful. Melee leeway makes me want to commit war crimes. Then was like, hey, let's play a hunter. Got in about level 30, server changed to Deviant Delight for lower ping. Got him to 56, got in the best guild in the server. That's when I realized that the guild and therefore the entire fucking server was dog shit. When I was wanting to run Ubers for Prebus, and I was gonna join a group that just got done on a run. They were in there for 8 entire hours. I, wanting to die, never got in Deviant Delight or Grobulus again. Desperately missing the private server boys, I got back on Herod. And in a mad frenzy, I leveled classes at random. Noticed priests were needed badly. I was feeling cute. Thought I might want to go ahead and cast Power Word Shield, Shadow Word Pain, and then wanding things down for hundreds of hours. So now I'm here. Level 49 Priest, 56 Hunter, plenty others, not a single toon rating. Going from one of being in the best guilds in the world, and based on our roster and how other people performed in private server guilds, we were probably projected to be about world 4th to 7th rag. And I'm here now. None of my accomplishments meaning anything because I simply can't stick to something. At this point, you're probably considering this as a video I made to hopefully entertain anyone who stuck around this long, and an intelligent person would infer I learned a lesson, going to stick with my Priest of 60. However, I'm really feeling the juicy taste of Chad Warrior Cock. This time I promise, this one will actually raid.